So we have been looking at this mentoring problem. Right? So the mentoring problem is trying to find when students are separated in marks, dissimilar, so that one student can help another student, but it should not be too bad. There should be at least some separation, but not too much separation.
Right.
But the other problem is also possibly something useful, which is when are two students similar, so we can find out whether they are actually performing in a related way, and see whether there are groups of students. This group of student is doing well. That student is that group of students.
That means that they should not only be similar. They should be similar in all subjects.
Across all subjects, yes.
All subjects. So similar. 10 marks, should we say 10 marks?
Yeah, last time we said dissimilar is more than 10.
10.
So let's say that this is 1 to 9. So up to 9 marks.
So which means that
we are saying similar.
Let us say if I have Harish and Gautami, I am just comparing.
Yeah.
I would say Harish and Gautami are similar.
Yeah.
If their maths marks are within less than 10 marks.
9 marks.
1 to 9 marks, right? Physics is within 10 and chemistry is in this case obviously 76 minus 62 is 14. So they are not similar.
Yeah, so they are not similar.
Like this we have to compare everybody.
Yeah. So we have to see whether we can find these.
But this is, I mean, we saw that was a thing where we are creating a relationship which is directed.
Yes.
A is mentoring B. Here when we say similar, we are not directing or anything, right?
Correct. They are equal in some sense. They are. You could either say 1 is similar to 15 or 15 is similar to 1. It doesn't make any sense.
So this, if you go to represent it with nodes and all.
So
this would be a.
Yeah. So we would, for example, supposing we just take two numbers, we may or may not be. So supposing 22 and say 13, we say they are similar. Then we will connect them
with an undirected edge.
But yeah, so we could of course do this, but it makes no sense because it's saying 13 is similar to 22 and 22 is similar to 13. So we can just remove this.
No arrows.
And no arrows, and just put a
single line. Single line connecting to
22. So this is an undirected.
So undirected edge. Okay. So should we find all the pairs?
Let's try. Maybe we can find some.
Okay, let's see. So how do we do? Every pair with every card with every card you have to do.
That we have to do. Yeah.
So Gautami, Harish, we have compared.
Yeah. Straight away Rahul is out because maths is too high.
So leave it out. 7642 ruled out. 7657 ruled out. 7662 ruled out. 89 ruled out. 74. This is possible. Now you have to compare 58 with 64 possible. 9051 ruled out. 7652 ruled out. 5864.
Yeah, but this is ruled out.
But this is ruled out. So rule it out. 7687 ruled out. 7668 ruled out.
68 is possible, no? That's 8.
7668 is possible.
Yeah, 8. And this is
5864.
But this is 12.
9078. Okay. You may not find anybody. 7693, 5868.
No, that's
9091. This is actually there, but others are gone.
This may
7678 possible. 5869
is 11 too much.
Okay, too much. 7674, 5871 gone. Right? 7664 gone.
64 is okay. No, yeah, so 12. Yeah.
7665 is also gone.
Yeah.
7687 is also gone. 7681 is possible.
Yeah,
58.
76 is too much.
Okay, gone. 7656 is gone. 7672 is possible. 5866 is 8.
Yeah.
9081 is.
So we found somebody. So now
Gautami and Naveen.
So 15 is similar to
29.
29. Okay, very good.
Alright, that was, it took some doing. Alright, let's try. 7662 is gone.
Yeah.
7681 is possible. 5882 gone. 7674, 5883. Okay. 87 gone. 7663 gone. 7697 gone. 7684.
84 is possible, right? 8. But 58 is 92.
58, 92. Okay. 7671 is possible.
Your next one is
too much. 7672 is possible.
But again
too much.
Physics is too much.
44.
Yeah.
All right. So we found
Gautami is only similar to one other student.
Who is?
Mr. Naveen, I think, number 29.
Number 29. So let me take out Naveen. Let's see if Naveen is similar to somebody. Just like that, huh?
Yeah.
For the heck of it. Of course, Naveen is similar to Gautami.
Yeah. So that we already know.
We already checked, right?
Yeah.
You check this with this with that, same thing.
Yeah.
Now we have to check with Naveen is similar to somebody. Shall we go through that?
Yeah.
So 72, 44 ruled out. 72, 72. 66, 92.
Yeah. 66, 92 is out, yeah. So 92 is
You know, I mean, Gautami is not similar to any of these. So Naveen may also not be similar to any of these, no? No?
Yeah, well, see, but Gautami has a very high chemistry mark, so it's not because it is 9 and then 9.
Oh, so it's not a,
it's not
transitive.
It's not transitive.
Transitive, not a transitive.
Because somebody could be within 9 marks of Naveen, but more than 9 marks away from Gautami.
Oh, I see, okay. All right, let's
So
see.
I think we might find somebody.
So we do, okay, let's see. This is gone. 72, 71, 66, 92, ruled out. 72, 84, ruled
No.
out. 72, 97, ruled out. 72, 63 is possible.
But 88 is too
This
much.
is ruled out. 72, 87 is ruled out. 74 is possible.
But 83 is too high.
83 is too high. 81 is 9 marks. 82 is
too high.
too high. This is out just about. 72, 56 is ruled out. 81 is possible. 76, 66
10,
ruled out. 10 marks. Okay.
Just
87, 65,
Ah.
73.
these are okay.
89.
Okay, so now we have Gopi.
Naveen is linked to Gopi.
So I'll draw it in a different color because we found it differently. So Naveen is linked to Gopi.
Naveen is similar to Gopi.
Yeah.
Gautami is similar to Naveen. We'll
But
just
you can
finish
see-
Naveen.
Yeah, we'll finish Naveen, but you can see now Gautami, because this is 4 and this is another 7, so this
Totally
difference was
added up to
11.
11.
So therefore
That is why it's not
Gautami is
transitive.
actually
Not transitive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
So
this
now-
didn't form. I mean, if Gopi were also connected to Gautami for some reason, then it would have been a nice group.
Yeah, of all
All
similar
students.
to each other.
But now we cannot really say that they are similar.
Yeah.
All three are similar to each other. You can say these two are similar, these two are similar, but not all three are not similar to each other.
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Kavya.
Kavya 72, 64 is possible. 66, 72 is possible. 80.
No,
this is
it's
not.
too much.
Okay, too much. 72, 74, 66, 71.
26.
JK. Naveen seems to be well located. In that sense, better located. Okay. Then Naveen with Monica. 6 is possible. 69,
Yeah.
74. Yes.
So 21.
Another one. Kalyan is gone.
Yeah.
We're comparing Naveen, right?
Yeah.
Gone. 68 is okay. 64 is okay. 78 is okay. One more.
Bhuvanesh.
Oh, we're finding quite a few.
Okay.
Huh?
Yeah.
Ritika.
87 is too much.
87 is too much. Gone. Okay. Mathematics 72 gone. Then 74 is okay. 64 is okay. 51
Chemistry is too
too
low.
much. 89 is too much, right? 62 is out of the range, just out of the range. 57 is out of the range. 42 is definitely out of the range. 97 is out of the range. 62 is also out of the range.
Yeah. So these we have now are 6 people who are all connected, 5 people who are all connected to Naveen.
Naveen,
So now we should try and see whether any of them are connected to each other.
we'll leave these cards.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's look at 13.
Because we have enough here.
Let's look at 13.
Let's
so
see
13 we've
13.
already compared with these two. So let's see 13 and these top 3.
Top 3. So 65, 78 ruled out.
Yeah.
65, 74
Yes, possible.
possible. 73, 71. 89. Wow.
Yeah. So,
So Gopi and JK.
okay. So that's 13 and 26. So
13.
here we have now what you are looking
You
for.
have a group of 3.
Group of 3 who are all
Naveen, JK and Gopi are all 3
similar to
because
each other.
each pairwise they are similar.
Yeah. What about that one?
Gopi 65, 68, 73, 64, 89, 78.
That's not so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
How about JK and Bhuvanesh? 74, 68,
Yes.
71, 64,
Yes.
82, 78.
Yes. So that is
JK and Bhuvanesh.
26 and 0. So that's another a different triangle that we have
We'll
found.
try Monica. Will we try Monica? 21.
Okay.
So Monica we have tried with
Gautami and Naveen already we know. With Gopi we said no for some reason.
78 and
Yeah.
65. Okay.
JK?
78, 74, 69, 71, 74, 82. Yes.
Yes. So 21, 26 is connected. Okay. Very good.
And Monica with Bhuvanesh, 78, 68 ruled out.
No. Yeah.
Okay. So we have 29, 26, 0
Yes.
are similar. 29, 26, 13
Similar
are
and
similar. 29, 26, 21 are similar.
yeah. So we have 3 different groups here. that we
But
could.
29,
Yeah, so
21, 26, 13, 0, we can't put all of them to one group.
yeah.
15 seems not connected actually, strictly speaking.
Yeah, so 15 is kind of sticking out from this
Sticking
group
out.
at one extreme.
At least these people are kind of more or less connected
Yeah.
because there are more edges in there, right?
Yeah. So now
So if
we have,
everybody is connected to everybody else in a set, is that a name is there in the graph for that?
so it's like a, what we say about people, the people who stick to each other and they kind of exclude other people. So called a clique.
Clique.
A clique is a group
So
of
clique
people.
is a group of students.
Yeah, who kind of congregate together and they exclude other people from their conversations with it.
Okay.
So here we have these cliques of size 3.
We didn't find one of size 4 yet.
Yeah. So if we go looking, we might find a bigger group, all of whom are similar to each other.
You may find one of 4.
We might find, and then that we can isolate and say that this group of students performs similar. Right. So here we have these 3, each triangle, and then this red triangle, which is the outer triangle.
By and large, if there are many edges in between them, even though it doesn't form a clique, if you have a set of students and the number of edges is very large between them,
Yeah.
kind of feel that
Yeah.
they are very similar.
Yeah, they may be dissimilar only in one subject. For example, we have seen some of them where
One
in 2 of the
subject,
subjects they are similar,
Ah.
and then in one the difference is more.
Difference, right.
So we could have even made our criterion a little
Little
weaker. We could have said in 2 subjects they're within 9 marks.
Ah.
Then we would have got
many more edges.
More edges, and then we would have found more cliques. Or we could have only looked for similarity in 2 subjects, not in 3. So only maths and physics are they doing similar, and so on. So that could have been one way of.
So the difference between this, what we did here, which is clique, finding cliques or creating this relationship, and the one we did earlier, where mentoring, they seem to be the exact opposite of each other.
Yeah.
When 2 students are connected by an edge here, they are very similar. They will not be connected by an edge there because
Yes, because they're
within 10, no?
Yeah, whereas there you want to be strictly more
than 10.
And in fact, because we have said all 3 subjects, they can't be mentored
So
in
can
any.
we say that this is a complement of that graph or something like that? Is different, opposite? I mean, just like in sets, right? You say
Yeah,
A and complement of A, something like that.
we could, but the only difference is that here we are doing different type. We have these undirected edges, and there we had these directed edges. But it is true that if there is an undirected edge between these 2 students, we know that in every subject they are within 9 marks, 9 or below. So in no subject can it be 10 or more. So there definitely cannot be a mentoring edge.
Mentoring an edge.
So wherever this is there, there is no mentoring edge. But it could be possible that neither is there.
Right.
It could be that you can't mentor in any subject, but at the same time you are
Also
not.
there in that one we gave a thing that it has to be within 20 also.
Yeah, that's why there's an upper bound. So somebody is 30 apart, for instance,
Ah.
would not be mentored, would not be similar.
No, so there could be, okay.
Yeah, so you could have neither. But
So we saw a directed graph, we saw an undirected graph, and there we were trying to find cycles, directed cycles.
yeah. And
Here
here-
also we are looking not cycles, but we're looking for pairwise everything.
yeah, so
is
at a
connected.
triangle it looks like a cycle,
Ah.
but actually we are looking for these groups of people who are all connected to each other. So that's this clique. Problem. So we should probably write that word. So we are looking for this
Cliques. There we are looking for directed cycles. Here we are looking for cliques.
cliques. Yeah, so clique on, so for example, if we had 4 students who form a clique, then it will look like you have these 4 students, right, and all of them are connected to each other. So we have these 4 edges, but we also have these 4 edges. So this would be a clique,
I see.
right? And if you had a 5th student to join this clique, then this 5th student would have to be connected to these 2, but also has to be connected to these 2. So we will have something like this. So everybody is connected to everybody.
1, 2, 3. Oh, it will have, everything will have 4 edges.
Everything will have 4 edges because there are 5 of them, and every student
pair
is
is
similar to
connected.
all the other 4. Right? So this is how. So if we have 6 students, then every student will have 5 neighbors in this graph. So that's what a clique would look like. So for 3, it is just
So in this set,
yeah. For 3, a clique is just a
it would be
triangle.
nice to see. I mean, I don't know. We can't do it manually. It took difficult to do.
Yeah,
Nice to run a kind of a procedure on this.
yeah, and see whether actually there are
There's a clique of size 4 or 5
yeah.
or something.
What
Maybe
is
as
the
an exercise.
what is the biggest clique we can
What is the
find?
biggest clique we can find in this?
Yeah. And then we can say that and it will also be interesting to know what that clique looks like in terms of marks. Are the marks roughly in the middle or are they in the lower? I mean, if there's a clique of students who are doing badly, that means that the whole class performance somehow needs to improve and there is something.
It's more likely that you will find cliques in the middle of the class, right?
Normally, yes. Normally, I would expect that.
Yeah, because that more number of students are there.
Yeah.
Towards the edges, you find extreme performance.
Yeah. And the students in the middle tend to be roughly of similar capabilities. Yeah.